Why is the numbering in the Psalms of the Douay-Rheims Bible different than other Bibles? Today I want to clarify that, because anybody that's got a Douay-Rheims Bible is really confused by that. It's a real problem. For example, one of my favorite Psalms is the Psalm of David's repentance, Psalm 50. 50 only in the Douay-Rheims Bible. If you go to the New American Bible and look up Psalm 50, you're not going to get the same psalm. It's a different psalm. The number is different. So, in the New American Bible, you're going to get Psalm 51. Well, so what's the deal there? What's going on there? Why is it that I can't even look up the, same chapter from two different Bibles? Well, there's something going on there. Now, in Psalm 9, that's where a difference happens between the Douay-Rheims Bible, the traditional Catholic Bible, and the Hebrew rendering. So here's what's going on. From chapter 9, verses 1 to 21, everything is all the same. But in the Hebrew rendering, it's a late Hebrew rendering, takes verses 22 to 40 and splits that up into chapter 10, so that chapter 10 for them is chapter 11. So it's confusing, but that's the way that it is. So for them, chapter 10 for them is verses 22 to 40 of chapter 9 for us. Now, is that because of, some scholarly, we kind of realized that those were, different, that we realized that the Douay-Rheims Bible was mistaken? Actually, the answer to that is a pretty definitive no. I have in my hands right here a New American Catholic Study Bible, and it has the rendering, the numbering, different from the Douay-Rheims Bible, and it's according to the Protestant Bible and the Hebrew rendering of the Bible. So let me read you what it has to say, because I think you'll find that very enlightening. We're going to go to chapter 9. We're going to look at the footnotes. It's got a lot of footnotes. And regarding chapters 9 and 10, we read, Psalms 9 and 10 in the Hebrew text have been transmitted as separate poems. Now, remember, when this Bible is talking about 9 and 10, we're talking about what is only chapter 9 in the Douay-Rheims Bible. So let's keep that in mind as we continue. Again, Psalms 9 and 10 in the Hebrew text, Hebrew, have been transmitted as separate poems, but they actually form, get this, they actually form a single acrostic poem. The New American Bible just said that Psalms 9 and 10 are really just one chapter. Well, that's very interesting, because the Douay-Rheims Bible only has one chapter for those two. Interesting. Okay. So if we look at it in a scholarly way, it looks like the Douay-Rheims Bible is being affirmed by the New American Bible. Each verse of the two Psalms begins with a successive letter to the Hebrew alphabet. So there really is no separation in the writing of chapter 9, because it's basically just an acronym. It's all going along the Hebrew text, the Hebrew alphabet. So what we have here is the New American Bible stating very plainly and clearly that the writing of chapter 9 and 10 for the New American and the Hebrew and the Protestant Bibles is actually one chapter. And the only Bible that actually has one chapter out of all that is the Douay-Rheims Bible. And the Douay-Rheims Bible clarifies that as well. The Douay-Rheims Bible points out all this stuff in its footnotes. Now, so What's going on though? Because there's another question. Both Bibles have 150 chapters. So how do they both end with 150? Flip over to Psalm 146 in the Douay-Rheims Bible. 146 in the Douay-Rheims Bible is chapter 147 in the New American Bible. But the New American Bible goes from verses 1 to 20, and in chapter 146 in the Douay-Rheims it's only 1 to 11. The New American Bible added a chapter. By splitting chapter 9 up, they basically add a chapter, so that their Psalm 51 is Douay-Rheims chapter 50. So they have to at some point bring them back together, and that's what they do in chapter 147. It extends that chapter further than it should have gone so that it can finish at 150. So 146 in the Douay-Rheims Bible is chapter 147 in the New American and in the Protestant and in the Hebrew Bibles. And it's just extended further than was intended. So it's confusing and difficult to kind of keep all those numbers together, but the real points of contention, the real points of, separation is chapters 9 and 10. In chapter 9 for the Douay-Rheims Bible is 9 and 10 in the New American Bible. And chapter 147 in the New American Bible is chapters 146 and 147 in the Douay-Rheims Bible. Again, this comes from just a Hebrew influence, a late Hebrew influence. It's not, you can see in the writing that it's more accurate the way that the Douay-Rheims Bible is doing it. So again, this is another opportunity to affirm the Douay-Rheims Bible. Hopefully this has been helpful. If it is, please like and subscribe. Perhaps it'll be helpful for others. And remember to stay hungry, my friends.